Hi guys, welcome to the Big Vito brand and welcome to Spilling the Reality. I am one of your hosts, Noel and I am here with my close dear personal losing his mind friend, Devin. Lost his mind.
Gone.
Lost his mind.
Gone. It's gone.
Lost your mind.
Oh.
South Philly Neen filled in for you last week.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
I told her you had issues, and she said, "Hey, I'll fill in."
I always have issues.
She's my on-call.
My life is like TV Guide. I have more issues in the day than most people have all year.
So are you going to fill our wonderful listeners in on all of your ups and downs?
Oh, there's been no ups. There's been no ups.
You may have one up when you hit, maybe. You went up a little bit, like you just.
So the only up I had was this morning. I was looking for my Zyrtec that's been missing for like 2 weeks now, and I was tired and I didn't pay attention. It's the same bottle because I get the generic, and I just didn't notice that it was a pink bottle instead of a green bottle, and so I took one this morning thinking it was my Zyrtec because I have a lot of pollen issues. No, it was a Benadryl. So for me, Benadryl all day long, I'm just like drool. Just like,
oh yeah, I go in a Benadryl coma and then I twitch. Like I twitch. It's awful.
I was sitting here. So this is the same place I work from, and I'm sitting at work on Thursdays are our hour and a half like team call, and I'm sitting on the call, and I was keeping it on mute because I kept doing this. The whole time. If I wasn't actively working on something, I was keeping myself from trying to pass out. Yeah.
One of those.
I kid you not. So, and then I call, with all this stuff, I cough. I keep water nearby, and I was on the call. I did this one time, and I was out, but I was still on the water.
Stop it! You're like
somehow it stayed.
You're lucky you didn't drown.
Yeah.
So you were MIA last week. Nene came and filled in for you.
Oh my God! So here's the story. All right, so the weekend before Easter, we were driving up to Virginia to visit my mom and brother and his family. My whole family's in the car. I went to the doctor the day before the clinic because I at first I thought it was tooth pain, but I knew better. I had this huge pain, sharp pain, like right here in my face. And I'm going, oh man, my sinuses just blew up. Like it had to be right. I mean, it was pain, and I had a lump, and it was like bruising looking on my right. So I go to the clinic, and it was like a sinus infection that got in there with all the gunk. So they put me on medicine, and just like an antibiotic, a steroid, that kind of stuff. The day before we had this trip, so like an idiot, I go to the store and I get the non-drowsy Sudafed, which is the biggest lie on the planet. Like I should sue them.
That's a work. Everything's
I should. Work. Actually, I should.
You should go to action.
So I took the Sudafed. Actually, I think it was 2 days before we left. So I had it for a day and I didn't feel whatever. So get in the car. So the other thing is we got up at like 4:00 in the morning to go from North Carolina to the DC area because the kids hit a point where they're done right in the car. It takes us way too long. It takes an extra 2 hours with them in the car anyway. So we're going. We leave at 4 in the morning. Stupid idea. 4:35 in the morning. By the time we got out the door, I'm on Sudafed and antibiotics and steroids. I'm popping coffee drinks and everything, and I'm fine for like a good chunk of the trip. Surprisingly awake. And then when I was like kind of nodding off, I would stop or get a snack or something. So we got up near Richmond, and this is a combination of me being an idiot and the people that work on the roads in Virginia being idiots. And when I tell people the story from Virginia, they're like, yeah, don't you remember you used to live here? So when they have construction and they put those concrete barriers down, right?
Yes, sir.
So in North Carolina, which is usually a very backward state, and they do things like it was 100 years ago, they at least, if this is the line on the side of the road, they put the barricades like over here. And it's straight because they probably have a piece of equipment that helps them to keep it straight with the road, right? Not in Virginia, not in Richmond. That sumbitch was going like this. Like, it was just like this curving out, curving back in, and I must have did this for a second. And in that second, there was a piece right up over the line, and the side of my car went right into it.
Bro.
Okay? I'll actually send you pictures to put up. So
yeah, send me some pictures.
So everybody's awake, and my poor daughter, who was in the back, who has like anxiety anyway, she's like leaning like this, falling asleep on the door, the side that it hit on.
Oh.
Right. So her shit kicks in. I'm trying to just keep the car under control and get off the road, so I can see how bad it was. She's screaming, "We're gonna die! We're gonna die!" Like just like lost her ever loving mind. I mean, like gone. And my 4-year-old sitting back there like going, "What the hell is she screaming about?" Like you can just tell, right? Like he's just like, "What's going on?" And my wife's like, "What?" So I'm just that doesn't help. So anyways, I pulled over first because they left like the barrier kind of ended, and I pulled over, and I mean, both quarter panels completely dented in. The both doors were completely dented in. I didn't notice anything with the wheel, but I couldn't tell. But it just seemed like the wheel was in the wrong spot, and it was rubbing against the quarter panels. It was just bad. So I was able to get off the road. I found like a Firestone, and what saved our ability to drive was that I put in a new control arm in the front.
Yeah.
Like a month before. So they popped it out, they looked and all that. They literally had undo 2 bolts, move it back where it was supposed to go, and put the bolts back on.
Thank
right?
God.
And it was drivable. But the rim was cracked, so we needed a new wheel, which we did not get. And all this, those 4 pieces, like back in the day, like with real cars, they would just dent those things out. They would hammer those things out and paint them, right?
Yeah.
No, not anymore. They're going to want to replace all that stuff. So it's a 2007 GMC Envoy. It has 195,000 miles. There's no way, a whole side of the car like that is probably at least $3 to $5 grand, plus a new wheel.
Not worth it.
No. So I was able to drive. We get up there. I'm still driving it.
Are you still driving it?
Yeah, I have a full-size spare. So eventually it's going to, but whatever. I have my credit's shit. There's no way I'm financing a car. I have no idea what I'm going to do, right? So luckily my mom is helping me out, right? And she gave me a certain amount. And, but anytime you get, you can imagine what my insurance is, right? It's nothing, right?
Yeah.
And I don't have full coverage because there's no car. All that's about to change. So in the money she has, we don't want to spend what she gave us fully on the car because we want to have money for the insurance and all that stuff. And anytime you go look at a used car, you're talking 50 around down here is $1,300 to $1,500 for fees and taxes and all that crap. So
right.
What we want to get and what we can get, we've been really close a bunch. So anyway, so what we've been doing for the last 2.5, 3 weeks is going around looking for cars, and I've been trying to work and go look, and I took a day off to go look, and so we had this one car. So one of the things we've been looking at was we're looking at SUV and minivans. So if you know of any guys, right? We don't want stupid miles. I'm not going to buy something with 150,000 miles on it because I just fixed my piece of shit. So we've been looking around. We've been dealing with the local dealerships here and getting all this stupid bullshit there. So we see this Kia Sorento, which is their SUV, and it's a 2016, which is where they redesigned it and everything. Out at in Burlington, North Carolina, which is an hour and a half from here. I'm just going to tell this one dealer story because the rest are bad. This is all the shit rolled up into one. So, I don't know if people have been shopping for cars lately, but nowadays you go online, you see what you want, or you see some things, you pop in some questions or whatever, and you get stuff on your phone, right? You get the text messages from hey, can we send you text messages? Hi, I'm Jasmine. And blah, blah, blah.
I used to do that job. That was my...
Yeah. Well, at first I thought it was fake, because there's marketing software that you can get for websites and stuff that automate that and seem like it's real. Right. They look for keywords and all that stuff, but this isn't what this is. This is a real person. So I confirmed this car is there. It's in our price range, out the door. It's in our price range, right? Great. So I said, here's when we're coming. I checked that morning, and keep in mind, we don't have anybody to watch our kids. Right during this,
you live away from everybody.
We're an hour and a half away from them, and they're not going to come up here that much to help. When we were down their way, we dropped them off at their house, but they've been sick and whatever. So we had nobody. So first we were looking at a place here in town, and we had these drop-in daycares here. So we dropped them off, went to go look at the thing here. Total waste of time. Picked the kids up, drove out to Burlington in an hour and a half. By that point, it was lunchtime. So I'm texting these people the whole time out there. Is the car still there? Yes, car's still there. We're on our way. We'll be there at this time. We'll be there at 4 o'clock. Okay, still there. We get into Burlington. Right. First, I check, again, I'm checking every 20 minutes. Is it still there? Still there. And I said, okay, we are in Burlington. We have to stop and feed our kids, and then we have to take them to the drop-in daycare here in town, and then we'll be over. I mean, literally, all three of those things were within 5 miles of each other. Okay. Car's still here. We'll see you in a little bit. We get to the dealership. I asked for Jasmine, and I get looks like, who's Jasmine? It was really funny. And then one of the sales guys goes, oh, she left about a half hour ago. Okay, well, he introduces himself, whatever. And I said, well, here's the car we were looking at. Here's the stock number. Oh, that car just got sold. Did it now? Did it really? Do you realize you just made me drive an hour and a half? And so that car was listed at 15 and change. Okay. And we were going to figure we'll talk them down a little bit and trade in and all that. So don't worry, we have other cars that are like it, and and the Sorrento and all that. We'll show you. We'll get you some similar cars. Great. So first they had us drive a Hyundai. I liked it. She didn't like it. It was smaller than what we came out there to look for. It just wasn't quite, whatever. Then they put us in, of all things, a freaking Dodge, which had to be the biggest bucket of bullshit ever. Okay, and my wife liked it because it was a big bucket of bullshit. You like that? My wife liked it because it was a big vehicle and everything. I couldn't stand it. It drove I was literally thinking I was going to have to keep tools and duct tape in the car if I got that thing and drove around because things were going to rattle off of it.
It contains a weight-bearing bumper sticker, and if the bumper sticker peels off, the whole thing falls apart.
That's what I thought. Yeah, they call that a feature. So
yeah, that's a feature. Weight-bearing bumper sticker is
and look,
exterior features.
I used to be in sales in all kinds of different industries, okay, and I used to sell catering stuff at hotels, and I would always give people three choices. I had the one I want them to go into. I would sell them something that made the one I wanted them to go into look better, right? So it's the piece of shit option, the option I wanted them to get, and here's the big luxury option that they were really wanting to blow some money. Great, but I didn't care. I wanted them in this one. So I knew what he was doing. He was setting up the third car, which was the Sorrento that he wanted us in. The Sorrento he put us in, keep in mind, we were going there to look at one that was listed at just under 16. It was 15 and change. I think it was 23. It said 23 on there. It had all these prices crossed out, and 23 was the last. I said, well, what's that? I said, we're not getting this if it's anyway. Oh, don't worry about the price. Let's just see if you like the Sorrento because you haven't really been in. He goes, this is the best line ever, right? He goes, and I'll tell you what I say because I don't think he knows my background, guys. He never worked a worker. Okay.
Yeah, never.
And he goes, okay. He's like, you may see something for $1 that is really crappy and you really don't like, but then you might see something for $100 and you really like that, and then you decide it's worth the extra $99. I said, yeah, but we're not talking about $1 or $100. We're talking about you taking a $15,000 vehicle and putting it up to 23, and that's a whole different thing because we don't have it. Yeah. If you want to give it to us for 15, I'll take it.
But that's totally it's not man, I could buy the 6-pack of beer, but for a couple extra bucks, I could buy no, this isn't that. This
is like saying, hey, I could buy the 6-pack of beer. I could buy the 6-pack of beer, or you know what? I could go buy the whole brewery.
Yeah,
that's what
buy the brewery.
Seriously.
I could get a cheap bottle of wine like an arborist, or fuck it, I'll buy the winery. I'm a Bella now. Let me just.
so we just killed our whole the whole day, right? And it was just it.
I know you're mad too.
Meanwhile, we liked the vehicle, right? Because of course it was a trim level up. It had the big plush leather seats to hold my big ass. It was just
Were the seats heated? Did you like?
Yes, because we want that.
I hate when they do that to me, but I love those days.
But it was the big cushy leather, right? It was really, and it was just comfortable. It was a good, right? It was great. Everything we wanted, third row, a whole nine. And And so we go back to the showroom, and of course, the manager's over because obviously they weren't closing this thing. And I was, and my wife goes, I should tell. So the best person to bring is my wife when she's frustrated about the whole experience because she wanted to leave when we first got there, and they didn't have the car. And I probably should have listened. I said, well, yeah, I trust let's at least drive these other cars so we can at least drive some cars and figure out what we want.
Because you're me and she's Vito.
Yes.
Because Vito would be like, fuck you for not.
I thought she was going to punch
the benefit of the doubt, babe. You're so.
I thought she was going to punch him in the face. So she finally comes down. She got into the car thing, and everything. We get back there, and I was like, well, you chose a $23,000 vehicle. We can't do that. I told you this is our budget. We're not financing. We have a certain amount of money. It is what it is. I can't do more than that. My wife got up and walked out. She's like, can I have the keys? And she went to the car. And the sales guy. So that's when the sales manager came over. That was like the trigger for the sales manager to come over. And the sales guy is just like, his whole demeanor changed. Like he didn't know what was going on. Like, he doesn't understand why things went off the rail. We love the vehicle. Like he was going for the emotional sell. And like, dude, I told you at the beginning. I told you how we had our money, how we were paying for it, what it was. I mean, I didn't tell him the whole amount, obviously, but what it was, and because that's what we were willing to spend, and that's it. So why are you wasting your time putting us in this other thing?
Because he thought he could upsell you because he thought you were bullshitting like he was. That's
right, exactly. That's right. Never worker. And so the sales manager, I was telling this all to him, and very meekly the guy goes, well, we could go down to 19 on it, but I think that's it. So they're talking about going from 23 to 19. Still not where we needed to be, but like
your hood.
Right. So I said, so if you can drop it to 19, right? Don't forget to add in the $1,500 for the taxes and everything, and then give me $5,000 on my trade-in. We're good.
And we're okay.
And we can't do that. Okay.
Because he wanted to show you a certain amount for your car and then exchange it on the back end and then say, well, we can't do the taxes. The state doesn't allow us to make you any kind of deal where we cover the taxes. Do it for a living, but
you can't cover the taxes, but you can drop the price of the car to cushion the blow of the taxes.
And then the problem is they probably took the trade-in for too much money because somebody got aggressive trying to sell the car. But you think they do better because it's the end of the month and they've got to sell the car.
That's what we kept thinking. So anyway, so it gets better. Not done yet with this place. So I start going out and I get in the car and the guy comes running out and I tell him, oh, here we go. Right? Like, here we go.
I hate that.
I got it. But it's not what you think. Hold on, it's not what you think. Because I thought he was going to be like, oh, well, we have this other thing I can show you, right? Like actually in my price range. Because by the way, none of these three cars were in our price range. And he's like, I didn't realize I still had the keys from the Hyundai, the first vehicle, in my pocket.
Oh.
And that's what he was running out the gate.
I don't think he's going to give you a whole other pitch.
I'm like, shit, I wish I would have had it. I wish I kept it. So we leave, right? And it's before Easter, so we don't have the kids. It's the only time we can go Easter shopping and for the stuff that we're going to give them. And so we go to Walmart or whatever, and we go shopping and everything. And we go to this private daycare that we've never been to before in a strange town to go pick up our kids. And the people have changed over, so the lady we dropped them off with wasn't there anymore. And I guess they have this policy, they don't know you, which is a good policy. She's like, okay, I just need your ID. And I go open up my wallet and it's not there because it was still at the dealership.
Yes.
And because of the shopping, they're closed. They're closed.
They're closed. So and you're an hour and a half away from home.
Yes. And so luckily I had my wife's ID. So we showed it to them. And got the kids. I mean, I was going to raise hell. They were going to give me my kids, right? So we got the kids.
Then you keep them, and we won't need them.
I feel I had other ID or something, right? So I'm calling the place. I'm thinking, like, I'm trying all the different options on the phone and all that, figuring I can get hold of somebody. And by the way, the salesperson never gave me his card, which would have had a cell phone number on it, right? So
that's good. That's good.
So didn't even give me that when I lost a really bad sale. He was so flustered that I wasn't buying these cars. So so we go back over because I thought, well, maybe somebody's still there. Like, I know they moved cars because they were closed the next day, so they might be moving cars into the service area to lock up or something like that. So I thought, because it wasn't that far past when they closed. So I drove over there. Of course, nobody's there, but all the lights are on. So I thought I saw something in there, so I'm knocking on the window and like nobody's answering. So guess what I do? No, I don't break the glass. I'm walking around and I'm like, what's he doing? I'm like walking around the building looking in the windows, right? And I find on one side, one of the sales guys left his card behind, like on the file cabinet behind his desk, but I couldn't quite see it. So I had my phone and I was trying to use an angle to zoom to take a picture of his card. Like I'm literally up on the window. If anybody came by, they were like, "What the hell is he gonna do it?" And I'm like this, and I'm like,
It's like you're breaking into the place.
yeah, I got it on like 9 times zoom, and I get up there and I end up getting his phone number, and I actually get the picture of his card that was like hard to see because it was like only half exposed from the window, and I couldn't make out the last number, but I called the wrong person first, and then I got.
I was gonna say there's only so many numbers.
Right, then I got the last number right, and so this is what pissed me off. It wasn't our sales guy. So first, I asked him, and I said, hey, you work with Kia? And he's like, yeah. I hate to bother you. I said, I was just out there. I told him what was going on. I was like, do you have any way of getting hold of somebody that can come here and help me get my license? Because I'm like an hour and a half from home, and you guys aren't open until Monday. First question out of his mouth, what do you think it is?
Did you buy a car?
No. How'd you get my number?
He asked you that?
Yeah. And you know what my response was?
What?
Not really sure how that matters, but guess what? You left your card on your desk, and I was able to see it through the window. Sorry to inconvenience you, but I need my damn license. So,
I thought he was going to say, did you buy a car? When you said no, he hung up.
He asked me 3 more times how I got how he didn't understand how I got his number. 3 more times he asked me because it wasn't the sales guy I worked with, so he didn't understand. Like that's what's important in this situation, right?
Who cares how you got the car?
He's like, well, I know our general manager's like he left for a trip already today, so he's gone. But I'll call some of the other managers. And he calls me back after a while, and he goes, everybody pretty much that works here lives over like about an hour or so away, and you're going to have to come back on Monday and get it. I said, wait a second. So you guys made me drive an hour and a half out here with a car that didn't actually exist on your dealership, but somebody's not going to drive an hour here to get me my damn license so I can drive home. So I called the police.
Did you really?
Oh yes, I did. I called the non-emergency police line. I didn't know what they were going to do. I didn't know if they were going to jack the door open for me and like go in there and like I don't know. I didn't know what they were going to do. I thought like shit, I'm going to get the SWAT team. I don't give a shit. Like give me my license. So
they literally bait and switched you.
Right.
And
then came my license, and remember the license thing because it becomes funny later. I'll tell you that in a second. So anyway, I got a call back from a police officer. He was really nice. He said, "You know what? You can drive without it because we have it in our records. If somebody does pull you over, you could get a ticket for operating without it. It's up to the discretion of the officer." He's like, "But you can always then just go home and like, when you get your license, just." Produce that and they'll just drop it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he made me feel better about driving because I'm still driving without my damn license because they wanted me to come back and get it. And I said, no, put it in the mail. And I ordered another one, but I can take up to 20 days. So what I found out, this is the kicker. I go online and I look at this place because I put a nice post on their Facebook. Just
I'm sure
that they are. I work in marketing for a living. I know my social media. So I get on there. Except for Twitter, because you guys aren't following me at Devin Leshin, DevinLeshin. Follow me, damn it, so you can hear good stories like this.
Good plug.
Thank you. So I find out there's like 6 other people that complained about the driver's license thing, them keeping their license. Because it's a tactic. When they came back to get it, they had this other car they wanted to show them while they were there.
It's a tactic.
It's a tactic. Well, you know what, guys? They have no idea what they're in for. Because I will do everything I can to screw them out of as much as I can. I don't care if I have to stand right off of their gate and hold a big sign warning everybody not to buy a vehicle from them. I will do that. I will spend every weekend doing that.
Like right now, where I used to live, I don't want to say the name because I am going to do a Bury These MFers podcast. Where I used to live has screwed with us so much because we never live in apartments. Like we've always had I'll give you the scenario. Okay. Vito and I lived in an apartment a very, very long time ago when he came to Pennsylvania, but we had 2 houses in Florida. Make sense?
Yep.
There's a condo and there is a 5-bedroom, 5-bath house. So we rent 5-bedroom, 5-bath house out to one of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then the other house we sold. So we sold the condo, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a house. So then we had a house in Florida and a house in Pennsylvania. So we sold the condo, but we still had 2 houses. Then we sold the condo and we sold the house in Pennsylvania. Now we're in this house. So we sold all the houses and we moved into an apartment here because I was still there selling the house. That makes sense?
Yep.
So I moved into the apartment Vito got when he moved down here to start working at Disney, right? So these people, and it's a luxury, really expensive. If I don't want to put our thing, but if I told you on rent for a 1-bedroom, you would be like it's bad, like it's ridiculous, like nobody should spend this much. But he was tired. This is my husband. He drives all night from Pennsylvania because he didn't want to leave me there, but he had to because I had to sell this house, right? So he didn't really want to leave me. So he goes at the last minute, drives all night, goes into an apartment. And he had looked at 3 of them. And finally, by the 3rd, he goes, I'm really tired. If I get the apartment, can I just go in it and sleep?
Nice.
Like, yes.
What the?
Big apartment. That's how he thinks. But it was beautiful apartment, pool, the whole 9 yards. But it turned out like the longer it went, the worse it got there. And everybody started moving out because they just didn't care. The people that ran it didn't care. And we've been battling back and forth with them. And I wrote a review that in the future, I am going to read on. You want to come on that podcast with me? Or we're going to business on blast. I'm going to bring people on. It's going to be great. We're going to it's going to happen soon. I'm just waiting for our check to come back.
Can we call them? Can we call these people?
We can. Well, I told their corporate, and the corporate got nasty with me and Vito. So I read the lady the review, and it's, I mean, scathing. It's the most scathing review you've ever read in your life. And I read it to her, and she goes, yeah, and that was it. That was it. She didn't care. I was like, oh, all right, bitch. All right. We're squaring up time. We put my hair in a ponytail. I was ready. And then Vito's like, you got to wait until we get our money back. Like, shit. So now I gotta wait. But like, I understand the power of a big review, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and the way my last couple of weeks have been, I mean, we went to go fill up the gas tank, and you know, it's a piece of shit. It's an old car. I hit the 87 octane every time, right? And I know I hit the 87 octane. I saw it, and then I didn't pay attention. I hit the 87 octane. I turn around, I start pumping. And I'm filling it up. It's about, 40-ish to fill it up. And it keeps going. I'm like, what the hell? How expensive is this place? Because it was like $70 because I wasn't paying attention. Like, yeah, I hit the 87, but the 93 kicked on.
Oh, see?
Out of sheets. I'm like, shady. And like, what are they going to do? Like, they're not going to refund it to me because what are they going to do? Get the gas out of my car? Like,
I would have been like, bitch, I'll siphon. Give me a hose. Like,
I was so mad. These poor people with sheets. I was like, look, I was like, if you want the gas back, you're more than welcome to go get it. I know it won't be the first time you sucked on a hose, so just go get it.
This is so funny because last week, Nina and I were talking about people that freak out in public. Like, remember I told you about the videos that people feel they're so entitled.
Right.
Public, and they'll say, well, this is a public. They don't realize it's really not a public place, it's private property. And everybody says just because something is in public doesn't mean it's a public place. It's not a national park, and it's not, like it's a house lawn. It's a private owned business. Even if it's a corporate, it's still private property. So these people go in, and the first thing they go is, well, I'm in public and I will conduct myself. No. But you can see why people freak out because this kind of shit happens all the time. And the comeback people get is, well, I'm in public and this is a public place. And I'll say what? Save it. Go home. Start yourself a Yelp account on every social media you can go on and put them on blast. I've had with Whirlpool. Off a brand new coming into my house refrigerator. There's a business, I swear to God, I shut it down. H.H. Gregg, I think I shut them down. Vito got an entire new everything, living room, kitchen, TVs, everything when we redid my house before we sold it. We did everything. He spent like, I don't know, like 10 grand on a freaking kitchen. Like he put money out, right? Don't you know they broke my water thing that goes from the refrigerator to the water and ice maker?
Oh, yeah.
In the house. Not only that, they brought the stuff from the warehouse and they brought mice in my house.
Nice.
And I had just come home from the hospital after having like the back procedure. And I'm laying down. And Vito's, you sit next, like you'd sit next to somebody when they're laying down.
Yep.
Just everything was brand new in the house, brand spanking. All the construction was done. It was beautiful. And I'm laying there. Vito's sitting next to me. And he leaned down like he was going to give me a kiss on my forehead. And he looks up and he goes, "There's a mouse running down the hallway." I'm like, "What is it, Mickey?" Like, because it's me. I'm like, "What is it? Mouse?" Oh, real fucking funny. He's like, no, there's a mouse. I freaked out because I'm like, how is there mice? And when I talked to the H.H. Gregg place, they're like, well, that happens sometimes because we take it out of the warehouse and we don't open the box when we install them. We wait till we get to your house.
What?
They wait till they get to your house and they open the box and whatever comes out, fuck you, pal. That's what you get. Like if like Jake the Snake's python is in your dishwasher, you get that in your house.
Wow.
And they had mice in their warehouse and they let them loose in my house and it took me forever I had to like, I'm trying to find exterminators. They want me to sign this $1,000 a year contract for somebody to come out. I'm like, listen, I'm getting rid of this house. Why am I going to sign for when I'm leaving? Like, what am I going to tell the next person? Well, you're going to have to reimburse me for the rat contract. Like, I don't think it's going to work like that. They're like, oh, it's transferable. Oh, I don't give a shit what the next person does with their rats, but these rats are, I mean, this is what it is. But last week we were talking about people freak out in public, and this would be one of those times where I feel like you have an option to freak out.
Oh, what's that movie where the guy's trying to get to his kids?
Falling down. I already.
Yes.
Michael Douglas.
I'm so there. Like
you're at falling down.
So this is another. I know we got other stuff to talk about, but you'll like this story. This is so me. Like I usually I'm pretty not angry guy, but lately with all the stress, when I get road rage now, and I'm trying to turn out in this bit. We're near the hospital, and I'm trying to turn out this shopping center, and everybody's letting everybody go except for when I start to go, this lady doesn't let me in, and she this old lady, old gray hair grandma. And I don't care that. I mean, I was bothered by that, but I wasn't angry. But the look she gave me, she gave me this nasty, nasty look, and my wife was hitting me because I'm now behind this lady, and I'm going I guess it's really important that you get to the hospital. I was I hope you enjoy your last 6 months, and I mean, just right, just screaming. I'm just oh. So
you know what my husband does?
Wait, hold on. So I was at and then I went to the Kia. Later, we were heading to the Kia dealership in town here, and I kid you not, I think she was after we had been there for a while, she came in there to do something. I saw the car come in and the same lady, and I'm thinking
maybe she was selling her car to pay for some hospital treatment.
Maybe. She's old. You shouldn't wish that on people. I'm look, there's enough assholes in here. One of them needs to go.
As Dwight Schrute says, there's too many people. We need to go play.
Yes.
That's the truth. No, when somebody pisses off Vito when he's driving, and I can only assume that him and the children, I say children, my kids are adults, they call it pigeoning somebody. And I think it's because if you piss off a pigeon, they shit on you. So what Vito does is, he doesn't shit on anybody, by the way. What Vito does is he makes sure he gets in front. I saw you shrug your shoulders. He makes sure he gets in front of the car, and then
you slow down.
But that's not all that he does. He gets his windshield wiper fluid, and he starts squirting it ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just huge, copious amounts, and then laughs. See, I never did this. This is a thing, I guess?
It's a New York thing.
Okay, see, I didn't know.
I learned it from my dad. My dad grew up in Brooklyn. He did the same thing.
Did he call it pigeoning?
No, he just did the same thing. Get in front of them, slow down, do whatever you can to get stuff on their car.
That's Vito. Vito and the kids think it's hysterical until somebody gets pissed off and follows us home.
Well, that's what my wife's like, well, you can get a shot one day. My other favorite thing to do is if I'm at a light, because one of my pet peeves is when that light first turns green, if you honk at me, I'm not moving.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not moving. And then I know how long the damn yellow light lasts. And so that very last second, I'm going through because as long as I'm in the intersection when it turns red, I'm good. And your ass is at the red light. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you honk it yourself.
No, my husband drives. I don't want to drive anymore, obvious reasons. But my husband drives like he's from New York. He definitely drives like he's from New York.
Yeah. Well,
you know how that is. And like he drove a long time without a driver's license. He only got his driver's license when he got hired by WCW because it was a requirement under his contract to have a license because he had to rent a car.
Right.
So he didn't have a driver's license. He was still, when he was in ECW, he was renting cars because he had a hookup with a guy that would rent him and Balls Mahoney like sports cars and stuff. Like they would drive, him and Balls were partners. They drove everywhere together because he was like, I know this sounds ridiculous, but he was the best person to room with. Vito said he would come back to the room, he would take a shower, he would neatly fold his towel, he would get out his book, and he would sit in bed, read his book, turn his light off, and go to sleep. Balls Mahoney, of all people. Nice. So Balls used to drive around in freaking Ferraris and shit to shows, but Vito had no driver's license. So he didn't get a driver's license until he's in his 30s, you know? You don't need a driver's license to work cars, apparently. So he drives. Yeah, he drives like a New Yorker sometimes.
Right. So I would just say that all this car shopping, I had one thought during a good portion of it is that if I could bring somebody around with me to shop for these cars, it would be my buddy New Jack.
Oh, that would be.
What? And I would.
And New Jack. That would be amazing.
Can you imagine if they did that shit to him? First of all, he would have gotten his license back.
Oh, yeah. Somebody would have came. Well, he would have thrown something.
Nobody would have come. The whole thing's glass. Like,
yeah. He'd have thrown a trash can through or a vacuum cleaner, and he would have gotten like, yeah. We have friends that we should probably use for things like that. Vito has friends that are car. Too bad you're not here. Ricky Santana has a car dealership.
But there's a place that we're talking about going to look at a car that's like 4 hours away from here. It's not that big of a stretch for us to go to Florida.
Well, maybe you should come down and Vito and you could go to Ricky Santana's and get cars. You can stay here. We got the room. You can stay in.
So in wrestling, there's a term, right? Totally not about the car called. Well, you know it, but just so the people watching know, the drizzling shits, right? I've discovered the origins. Hardee's. Hardee's chicken tenders.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad.
I mean, I never knew that you can deep fry pieces of a rubber chicken.
Oh, I did. McDonald's, Coatesville, Pennsylvania. If you go there, like number one, nobody speaks English at all. So you order and they just go, okay, and hand you whatever. And see, I live in Florida where nobody speaks English, and I get more English-speaking people here than I did at that McDonald's. And then they just hand you like whatever they feel like handing you, except I have some food allergies, so it's like a surprise. It's like a Happy Meal of death. So I gotta pray that it doesn't have whatever in it. And then Vito was like, we're not going here anymore. We're just not going, and we just didn't. So, yeah, bad fast food. Devin, should we talk about some news?
Yeah, I don't know. You told me to pull everybody in. That's been my week. Okay, let's do news.
Well, people are interested in our weeks because I'm sure that's why they tune in. But let's talk about some weird news. And I have so many. Like, I have this one story that I just love so much. And I love it because, like, it's from Philly. It's from the Fishtown section of Philadelphia, and it's definitely the snowflakiest of snow that I've ever seen.
Oh boy!
It's definitely the Millennial Circus, and they're in the main ring.
And I bet you do the news, I can beat it.
Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right, are you ready? I call this.
I'm ready.
From the bottom of your heart to the cooler in my side yard. And you'll get this in a minute.
It's already great. All right.
It's amazing. Wait till you hear this. All right, so this is from my local news in Philadelphia, because I still follow it. A local couple crowdsourcing request has left a lot of people with a bad taste in their mouth. A Fishtown couple is expecting a baby at the end of the month, and the dad is a little bit worried he's going to be too tired to properly support his wife after the birth of her child. Excuse me, their child.
Their child.
Her child. It's just hers.
Just hers.
Turn to a meal train website to ask strangers to make and drop off meals after the birth of the baby. Mind you, there's nothing wrong with this woman. She is a perfectly healthy young woman having a baby. She doesn't have any disease. She doesn't have hypermeiosis. She doesn't have eclampsia. She's not having a known C-section. She's just doing what women have done for millions of years, having a baby.
Okay.
Okay. So people that saw this post about this meal train request had sent it to a Philadelphia sports writer who happened to live in the neighborhood of the couple, and sent it to his Twitter account because the requests were so strangely specific that it needed to be shared with the world. I'll give you an example. Okay, they had 30 Palo recipes listed. Recipes. They wanted them followed to the letter. It's not, hey, listen, my wife's having a baby and we're really worried we're not going to be able to do this. Can you guys drop us off like some mac and cheese or a casserole? No. 30 recipe Palo meals. Here's your example of breakfast. They're requesting egg muffins with thinly sliced cremini mushrooms. The fuck is a cremini mushroom?
What? Oh, okay.
What's a cremini mushroom? It sounds like something you get at a Campbell's soup can, but I know it's something that's like grown in the forests of North Africa or some shit like that. A cremini mushroom, an egg cup. So they've literally got to make those like egg muffin cups with thinly sliced mushrooms. Dinner included spiced lamb meatball dish.
Nice.
And because it's Palo, these things all have to be grown locally. So they want you to definitely go to like your local food store for their, that's a horrible term. I shouldn't have said that. They want you to put the money in your pocket. I know, maybe you hate me. Whatever.
That's right. Just bleep it out later.
I'll bleep it out. They want you to go to these specific stores to get obviously their Palo ingredients. So they let people also know that the mom dislikes mashed potatoes. So don't bring any of those. And if you can't bring food, you're welcome to come over and vacuum and wash dishes and walk the dog, do laundry, whatever else.
Sure, why not?
Strangers, PS to you. To strangers. I think they want to be parented themselves, is what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
So they also decided that if they don't want any visitors, say you come over out of the kindness of your heart to help these two millennials. And you want to, bring them something. If they don't answer the door, you should leave your dish in a big white cooler that they've left in the side yard. And you could put snacks or whatever in case they don't bother answering the door. So you're kind enough to drive over to their crib in Fishtown. But if they don't feel like dealing with you, you should put your food
in the cooler
and go. And go away. So obviously some people on social media got a little angry because obviously this is not what this service is for. It's not your maid to come. She literally had recipes listed to the letter. She doesn't have allergy. There's none of this. So one woman tweeted, they're having a baby, not dying of cancer. RealiT will hopefully slap both of these two in one day. So the New York Times tried to contact this couple. And let me tell you, Devin, I'll send you the article. It's even funnier than I'm making it out to be. When you read the recipes, you'll die. heard of some of these foods. Like seriously, if I find out somebody in my neighborhood is sick or whatever, I'm happy to make them something. When I was healthy, I would go over and like bring people things when they had trouble or stop off and pick up takeout at a restaurant or something like that. I never asked anybody for a cremini mushroom when I had a stroke. Not once, not ever.
I don't even know what that is.
I have no idea. I'm going to have to look it up.
I will look it up.
It's a hallucinogenic. We need hallucinogenic for breakfast. We're having a baby. They reached out to the couple of the New York Post, and they apparently were surprised and disheartened at social media's reaction. Their public plea was primarily aimed at friends and family, except they posted it publicly and addressed it to the public. That meal train has since derailed, and it is now off the internet. But our good friends at the New York Post were happy enough to snap that, capture it, and put it on the New York Post website if you want to look for it. A good one. I love these stories where people ask you to do out of the ordinary, ridiculous things.
Oh, can I tell you something funny about these mushrooms?
Please, did you look them up?
Yes. So they're basically like younger portobellas. Like they're
like
portobellas. It's like before they fully mature, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of like veal and lamb. You know what I mean? Like it's not. So, but they have a nickname that they're sometimes sold by. You ready?
Yeah.
Baby Bella.
Stop. I knew this was related to those goddamn Bella.
I'm not making it up. They took portobello, they shortened it, they took the Bella, Baby Bella.
You notice that the things they want you to cook are all related to the babies? Like they want to eat like baby things? I'm kind of afraid for their baby. They want lamb.
I wonder if any of our listeners have any like psychology backgrounds besides having to go for some getting medicated, because mostly our chances
I was going to say most of our listeners are probably on medication.
Probably, but if they are on the other side of the couch, it'll be an interesting analysis.
You see, we have so many couches in the background here in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
That's for like anytime a fan loses it, like we'll let them come over and
there you go.
Talk about it. We're going to put
just one of the many services on the Big Vito brand, right?
There's so many things we do here on the Big Vito brand. By the way, guys, if you're watching us here on Twitch, we greatly appreciate you following us. And after the show today, you're going to get to see the new bar being installed. Yes, it's beautiful, isn't it? The brand new show, Big Vito's Jack of All Trades Sports Show, will be taking place from that very bar. And we thank JSRustics.com. Javi is the man here in Florida. If you're looking for a table or anything made of wood, Javi's your dude.
And I just want to thank you and Vito for building the place that I'm going to hang out when I'm old, decrepit, and retired. I'm just going to be sitting out there at the bar.
It's great. We got a spot for you.
Just put the bottle in front of me and leave me the hell alone.
Hey, let me tell you something. We live in the greatest place in the world. We can sit out there and drink. We can go, there's a bar in the place. There's like 3 bars in the community, and there's like, they bring me food. That's all I care about.
There you go. Can they bring you baby Bellas? They
do what?
Can they bring you baby Bellas?
I don't know. Maybe I should put a box in my side yard and see what Listen, after all the medical crap I've been through, not once have I ever asked anybody to bring food to my house. Never. A couple of my friends brought food to Vito when I had a stroke, only because he was working, helping people that were in car accidents and things. He was doing exercise therapy with them. Then he was driving from Philadelphia to another spot in Philadelphia to my rehab and then home. So people were dropping food off to him, but we never asked for that. I would never ask somebody.
Right, that's just silly.
If I had kids and I was sick, I have kids, but they're older. Right. But like, if I had little kids and I was sick, maybe, but like, you're having a baby. Women in other countries have babies in fields, pick them up, dust them off, throw them on their back, and keep doing things. Like,
right.
Really? You're lucky they keep you in the hospital for 5 minutes now if you have a baby with our insurance and our health care. They pop that sucker out, stick you in a wheelchair, roll you out into the parking lot, and wish you the best of luck.
Yep.
That's healthcare in America. All right, my next story sounds like one crappy meal.
Nice.
Yeah. Talk everything's food related. Can you tell I wrote this when I was hungry? Luckily, Vito took me for a quesadilla, which
Thank God.
Quesadilla. I don't know why. He doesn't hear very good. He pronounces things funny. Anyway, this story comes from Texas, which happens to be Florida, but that way. Because Texas, right? Am I right? Am I right? All right. Devin, your thing is muted. You know that, right?
Oh, there we go. Yeah, my mouth stopped working. Sorry.
I was like, why is Devin laughing?
I was coughing and I like muted it and then it didn't click when I clicked it. Whatever.
Well, you're back. You're good.
I have a Windows computer and an Apple mouse, so go figure. I like to live dangerously.
I had to replace all the batteries and everything that we have because we brought everything out of storage. And Vito was so fascinated, his computer started right up. I'm like, all you had to do was plug it in. What are you talking about? I think it was in storage for a year. I was like, so what? Was it supposed to not work? I said, it's not an HP. Anyway, I'm shooting all over every business today. Like this.
You're there.
I've had it. So anyway, a pizza restaurant in Springton, Texas, had to close this weekend after it was discovered that the employee had put laxatives on or in at least one pie. At least. On Friday night, the busiest pizza night of the week, mind you, the Springtown Police Department got a call about a possible food tampering at Mr. Jim's pizza location. I'm not buying pizza from a Mr. Jim. Maybe like a Vito's or a Luigi's or a
Mr. Jim.
Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim, I'll buy Jim steaks, all right? But I'm not buying your pizza, Mr. Jim.
I don't know. Like, it sounds almost like a Chinese restaurant to me.
No, that's like Mr. Chim.
Oh, my bad.
Chims, you're confused.
Well,
that's not racist, by the way. I only say that because I know where there is a Mr. Chim's.
I've been confused for like 25 years now.
It's all right. I may have had something to do with that. Just dealing with me over the past 20 years. Yeah, right. We've been friends for almost 20 years.
I'm still waiting for my trophy.
Yeah. Vito gets his medal, you'll get your trophy.
There you go.
So apparently the employee posted on social media that he put Miralax, a brand of laxatives, on pizzas. And authorities said 3 employees admitted to putting laxatives on at least one other pizza that ended up being eaten by an unknown co-worker. The employee who ate the pranked pizza got sick, but the people who made the pizza denied putting any laxatives on any that were purchased by the public. However, the city's health inspector pulled the business's health permit and shut down the restaurant.
There you go.
Yep, that's what should happen. And it's a shame because Mr. Jim didn't do anything.
No, that's a shitty thing to happen to Mr. Jim, man.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. If I was Mr. Jim, I'd beat some ass.
Yeah, I would beat the crap out of somebody.
Mr. Jim's not happy because
I'm over here using myself. Don't mind me.
Yourself left, right. Mr. Jim is not happy because his business has been shut down and they're going to have to go through a full inspection. He told the Huffington Post that the employees involved in the prank have been terminated.
Oh, man.
Poor Mr. Jim. Poor Jim.
He's feeling a little.
I don't know.
He's a little emotionally constipated.
What a shitty thing to happen to Mr. Jim. I think we're psycho. We record this show at night, people. We already had a full day. Ooh, emotionally constipated Mr. Jim. Oh, I should add some of his pizza. It might have helped him out a little bit. Devin's literally his mic. You're literally crying right now. So am I. So am I. This is stupid. Mr. Jim is in a world shift. You know what, though? We could probably market those pies to senior citizens because those people go through Miralax like you wouldn't believe. Or pizza was horrible.
Well, they were just trying to negate all that cheese.
Yeah, I mean, really, they were trying to help y'all out. Cheese
Oh,
constipating.
it's a regular thing to do.
God.
God, these puns are too easy.
You know what's sad is, like, I run this network, and Vito's probably going to cancel our show. He's going to be like, I don't even know what you guys talk about. You're canceled.
I'm ratings. I am ratings.
This is the show.
Do you have more news stories, by the way? Because if not, I have a good one.
You know what? I got another story, but I wanna bring something up. Bruiser, can you not scratch your ass to me? I'm doing a.
He had some of the pizza.
He must have some of the pizza. Go lay down. Here's the thing. I don't think I sent you a link to This Week in Pro Wrestling History.
No.
A link to this week's show? Okay, I have to send you a link to this week's show. Because it was a good show. It was about our friend David Arquette winning the world title and his basic redemption in pro wrestling, because that's This Week in Pro Wrestling. And I love David. Love David.
He's a good guy.
Soul of the planet. When he did that pay-per-view, do you know where the money went from the pay-per-view? That David, Brian Pillman's family.
Oh, wow.
That entire paycheck. He loves wrestling. He respects it. And he's a decent human being who I absolutely love. And he's trying to get Vito to let me have a little mermaid tattoo down my arm. So, David, I love you if you're watching. But something happened during this thing. Now, I've had a migraine all week. And I couldn't appear because we have lights. I couldn't sit in front of lights, but I was on the show on the side doing the narration, right? And Vito, during these History of Pro Wrestling shows, talks about the history of who he banged on the road on that week and whatever. It's amazing. He has a great memory, like a trap. But he gives people tips about picking up women. You know, like, this is how you pick up women at an arena. This is how you pick it. And it's fascinating and people enjoy it. And I'm grossed out by it, which makes it even funnier than. But this week he was talking about picking up women at the bar. And how when you go to the bar, you don't always pick the sexiest, hottest woman in the bar. If you pick the one with the best personality, you're going to have the best night all the way around. You'll have a good time, you'll have fun, and you'll have great sex. So I said to him, oh, that's very good advice. I said, I've heard you give that advice before. I said, but Vito, you told me that I was hot. And he was like, you have a good personality. And I said,
oh, he walked into the trap.
I said, so I'm hot and have a good personality? And he goes, well, you have a good personality. Now I'm mad. Okay? I'm sitting with a pillow at him. I'm pissed. I can't choke him because I can't go into the light. So I'm like sitting there just steaming mad. And I was like, well, if you marry ugly bitches, that's on you, right? Because, you know, I'm going to immediately get defensive. He thinks it's funny. Well, now I'm even more angry because now he's laughing. And now I'm mad because I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being So then he thinks he's going to make up for this by singing that song. Hey, have you happened to see the most beautiful girl in the world? But he never said that it was for me. He thinks he's being cute. He has like the music going behind him. Well, now I'm in. So now I think Vito thinks that I'm ugly and I want revenge. So I'm thinking about there's been two things that have been discussed. One is having a basic wrestler's court where it's for the Russo brand because that's where we do our show. And basically letting Russo be the judge. I'm going to need an attorney.
There you go.
And that's where you come in, my friend.
There you go.
So that's that. Or we're going to take a poll, and I'm going to contact every celebrity friend I know and ask them if I'm ugly, and have them send me a video saying whether I'm ugly or not.
Oh, I like that better.
I'm thinking I'm going to do both and use the video as
evidence. Yes, as your attorney.
That I am not.
I would advise you to do that.
All right. Okay. So I think we're going to have to do this because I'm a little butthurt about this Noel is ugly thing. Like, he goes, well, I didn't say it. He goes, I can't believe how butthurt you are and how mad you are. And I'm like, well, listen, bald asshole. I'm like, you called me ugly. So then today, to take this a step further, Vito decides to shave his beard off, which right away, because you know how I feel about the beard. He rolls in this studio while I am working with a mustache and no beard.
Oh, how very 70s of him.
And he goes, I think this looks good. And I just looked at him. And I love my husband. I think he's very handsome. But he is no Burt Reynolds and Smokey and the Bandit. Like, he has not gotten the mustache with no hair anywhere else is not happening for him. Like, he's not pulling this off. And I said, you look like you have a gay porn stash. Like, you have to shave it off. And he's like, but I think I like it. And I'm like, you know what? Call Val Venus, film one of those stupid gay pornos, and then shave that fucking mustache off because it's disgusting. Well, I finally got him to shave it off, except now I feel like I'm living with a stranger because I was so used to the beard. Now I'm there, and it's just this baldness all over the place. And he's not tan where he has a beard. It looks a little creepy. So he has the balls to call me ugly, and he's walking around looking like Nosferatu's with no fucking facial hair, bald head, no tan on his face because he had it's not good. It's good. And he called me ugly. Oh, you have a good personality. Let me ask you a question. She have a good personality? Personality. She ugly? Yeah. Yeah, apparently she's ugly.
No, you're just the second hottest according to him. You're somewhere in the middle.
I don't think I'm like any hottest according to him. Number one, every week I have to sit here and
no, that's not what he said. He said don't pick up the hottest one. Right? So he's eliminating one out of the bunch and then looking at the rest of the pool.
Listen,
so you were the top of the rest of the pool.
Nice try.
Listen. Watch Cobra Kai and you'll understand that second place is not a bad thing.
I have been watching Cobra Kai.
I need to sign up again to watch this season.
Yeah, I did too. I used my kayfabe account, so a month.
Does Vito know that I used to work at a law firm?
I don't know what Vito.
No. Well, tell him I used to work for the law firm Dewey, Cheatham and Howe.
He'll know that one.
Yeah, of course he will.
I told him.
I used that in promos before.
I told him that I will be using Devin as my attorney. And Vito said, I fucking dare him. So I think, and I'm just summing up basically.
Look, I've already beaten him in like a flex contest, right? So
yeah, you did beat him in that. And your beard is definitely still on your face and does not look like a porn stash. So, I mean, look at that. I'm so upset. I kissed him goodbye when he left for his night training, and it was like, who is this man? Like, I want my beard back. Like, I want it back. Why did he shave it off? He goes, well, there's nothing to do here. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Shave swear words in it? Leave it the fuck alone. He's constantly doing things to it. Just leave it alone. And then I think all the money we spend every week for him to go and get his beard trimmed and all this shit, and he just shaves it off like it's not a member of the family. I don't get it. Why don't you just, like, give Bruiser away? Like, come on. Like, same a thing.
I wouldn't give him any ideas.
Oh, yeah, he's not a fan. He's not a fan. But he knows if he does anything to my dog, he should probably not come home. It's already been discussed. And I know he won't do anything to the kids because then he really knows they're going to have to hunt for his body. So he's really, like, on his own. Yeah, computer, you shut down because you have a problem, not me.
So I have a funny thing to tell you guys about.
Go
you ready for this? So,
yeah.
So I live in a town called Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Okay, which is also, for people that don't know, it's the name of a cigarette, right? So, like, there's the Winston cigarettes and the Salem cigarettes, and right, that's where the name came from because all the money built up the town. This is a very weird town. There's an arts college here, like a very well-known arts college here. It's like got this whole like sort of granola artsy crowd, but it's still in the middle of North Carolina, and it's very crazy.
They eat mushrooms, those kind of people.
Yes, exactly. So they've had, a fair that they do every year, like a county fair, but, it's a little bigger because it's like where we're at. And it's called the Dixie Classic Fair.
Not what I thought you were going to call it.
No, the Dixie Classic Fair. So, and this is not a new thing, but of course, people try to make it. Why is it a problem now? Why is it a problem now? It hasn't been. Somebody every year, at least some group every year, tries to contest the name and get them to change the name. They've probably been trying for 10 years to get the name changed, right? Because of the origin of where Dixie came from and all that. There's this people talking about how it was like some kind of currency in New Orleans, whatever. It's not. It's connected to the slave trade. But anyways.
It's absolutely related to Dixie Carter's destruction of TNA.
Exactly. Well, that's right. And anything named after her should not be memorialized. So anyway, so the city council has suggested, and they put this poll up that they're going to change the name, and what should they change the name to? It is worth your time, folks, especially if you don't live in the South. Or you live in the South and you're not from here like me, and you think all these people are crazy, because they are. Go on Facebook, find anything about like Winston-Salem Journal, the newspaper, whatever, any article about this thing with this name change, and read the comments. I have not seen so many people collectively lose their minds over something in my entire life. I mean, like, this is like the things that they're complaining about is hysterical. This is such a waste of time. Aren't there more important things for the city council to be worrying about? And leave the name alone. Remember, I think like you guys are spending all your time posting about this stuff, but it's a waste. It's a waste of time.
Yeah,
but I'm going to spend time doing it.
It's a waste of time. I love it. I love reading comments on Facebook and news sites. That's my ultimate, absolute favorite thing to do, especially in the north when there's weather. Because if it comes anywhere towards spring and it snows, people hunt people down. There's a guy that does the weather in Philly named Hurricane Schwartz. I almost called him Hurricane. Hurricane Schwartz. I swear to God, one winter, my brother was off to kill him. Like, it was that bad. He was that man, Hurricane Schwartz, who doesn't control the weather. His real name is Hurricane. Like, settle down.
There's a guys, the weathermen, just try and predict what's going to happen. They don't actually create it.
Oh yeah, they hunt these people down like dogs. Like,
unreal.
And on the Facebook, it's hysterical. I used to.
Did you just call it the Facebook?
I totally just said the Facebook. Like my grandfather used to say the Walmarts. Like I'm that person.
Or the weed. Are you guys on the weed?
Are you guys smoking the pot?
The pot.
The pot.
That's what it is.
You know what? I moved into this adults only like retirement community, and
I can tell.
The youngest person that lives here like ever, so it's like awkward. Thank God Nick G's coming tomorrow, because then I'll get some of my like youth back a little bit.
Nice. He's got to wear the gold suit.
He's an old man too.
I was gonna say he's got to wear the gold suit. The old men around you would like just get a thrill out of that. They'd want it.
Nick's gonna come over here and talk about. I bet you $50.
I have an idea.
What?
You guys need to find some like really, really old men in that community that you live in, and get them gold suits to match him, and then have them like go to stores together and do like it's him and his posse, like picking up girls and stuff.
I like that.
Oh.
So apparently Nick has this neighbor, Ormond Beach is where Nick lives, and this guy is a mercenary. But I shit you not. He's like he's like 6 years old. He's a former Marine. He used to be a bodyguard. Like, he's like a big guy. He used to be a bodyguard on planes because he has like some kind of clearance. So he used to fly planes with like Arnold Schwarzenegger in it and stuff like that. And Nick was telling me these stories. But how does Nick meet all these strange people all the time? Like, what is it with him? I don't get it.
Strange attracts strange. I don't know.
His posse is as strange as Nick.
Oh, that's hysterical.
I got a mercenary, right? My son, a mercenary. I got one last story for you, Devin, and I'm much considering a major career change after I read this, because I totally can pull this off.
Okay.
All right. I call this, I found me a new moneymaker. I did. A Nebraska-based business is offering to bolster your social media page by expertly faking photos of the user on popular vacations that they never took. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I do.
The company is called Fake a Vacation because they put a lot of thought into that name. They offer packages starting at $19.99 for a service to superimpose a photo of the social media user in front of famous landmarks of wildly popular, tongue-tied, vacation spots, including Vegas, the Grand Canyon, Hawaii, and Disney World. And guess who's at Disney World all the time?
Yes, you are.
I am the RVD of Disney. Packages also include some facts about each destination to help the customer connect and concoct a story to fake these vacations. The company cited a study that suggested more than half of millennials have lied about taking vacations for reasons ranging from last-minute cancellations, high price of travel, or desire for social media recognition.
There you go.
And that is me. I got you. If you send me $19.99, I will fake you some of the best. I'll put you on the moon. I'll superimpose you at the bar. Like, I will definitely, like, you told your wife you were at the American Legion? Send me a pic of the American Legion. I'll put you there. Like, seriously,
Nice.
I got you for $19.99. In fact, I'll undercut $19.95. If you send me $19.95, I will put you on that fan behind Devin, spinning around. I'll do whatever you want. You want to sit on the end of my microphone? Cool, I'll put you there. RealiT.com. I got you.
Nice. There you go.
I got you. So that's gonna be my new business. I'm gonna make everybody look great on Instagram.
I like that.
At the Bella's Winery. I got you.
There you go.
I got you.
That needs to be on all your marketing. I got you.
I got you. I'm gonna make it ad. I got you.
Unreal.
You want to be at WrestleMania? You can't afford it? I got you. You know what would be the best if I made actual souvenir packages? Like the pictures in a frame, T-shirts. I make a whole box and I send them to you. And I give you a disc with your pictures on it, and you get the WrestleMania T-shirt or the Las Vegas T-shirt, and then you pay me money, and you don't even have to say, for $100, I'll take this vacation for you. For $100, I will make you at Mania. I'll put you in the main event, $100. You want to wrestle John Cena? I got you.
You got me leg dropping chic.
Nobody knows who John Cena wrestled anyway, so I got you. Could be you. Nobody knows. I got you.
Oh man.
I'll put you in Impact. You want to wrestle in Impact? Nobody watches it. They won't know you're there.
No, that's right.
I got you. That's the news for this week, Devin. You want to give them some plugs?
I said before, I'll say it again. Follow me on Twitter at Devin Leshin. Hopefully it's down here on the screen somewhere when we're right there. At Devin Leshin. Follow me. I will pin me stuff. I'll tell you all kinds of crazy stories. I'm eventually going to blog all this crazy stuff about the car hunt. It's insane. That was one story out of like almost 2.5, 3 weeks. So
Devin's got you. And
then I'm going to stop. I keep my plugs short because I know you have like 50 of them. So I defer.
They're not even mine, really.
Yeah, that's true.
If you guys are with us on Twitch, thank you again for joining us. Afterwards, following the show, I'm going to show you guys the brand new bar installation. That's JS Rustics, jsrustics.com. You can also find them on Facebook. And Javi is such a nice guy. If you guys are looking for a table, barn doors, anything, Javi's got you. Hit him up, jsrustics.com. RealiT T Spiller. RealiT, capital T Spiller is where you can catch me on social media. And if you want to catch me for business, contact my attorney, Devin Sturgis.
Let me a small retainer.
A small retainer for $19.95. Devin will help.
Not for a lawyer. I mean,
remember that trouble you got in on your fake vacation? For $19.95, Devin will help you out.
I will. I'll find all the documents.
Twitch.tv/The Big Vito Brand is where you can find us online. Also, thebigbitobrand.com, bigvito.com, harlowinc.com, Facebook, Instagram, your mother's ass. We're all there. Make sure you tune in. I'm so tired. I don't have migraines still.
Evidently, we're a tattoo on your mother's ass.
Tattoo on your mother's ass. Make sure you check us out also on the Russo brand every Wednesday for this week.
And your mother's ass. The tattoo needle is not the only. Never mind.
Next week on This Week in Pro Wrestling History, we are going to discuss the 41-man Gorilla Battle Royal from 2000 that involved every name you could think of, from Hulk Hogan to Sting to Macho Man Randy Savage. And one man's mission, to punch every namer in the face so he can send a tape to Vince McMahon. Who was that man? Big Vito LaGrasso.
Of course.
To their face. Oh, Devin, if you haven't watched that match. Oh, if you've never watched that match.
I'm going to have to now.
Literally moves people out of the way to punch people with a name. And you can see people laughing. Like, I think that Battle Royal was overbooked, but Vito made the Battle Royal for me because you see like Horace Hogan's coming over and Vito's like, no, your uncle. He's like, sorry, Candido, Flair. Like, he did that the entire battle. You watch him wandering through, pushing people out of the way. People are trying to engage with him, and he's like, no, Sting.
Oh, man.
And then, to top it all off, Vito has this theory that he got eliminated right before Randy Savage came in because he was the surprise in the limo outside with a storyline that went nowhere. Vito has the theory that Randy Savage was afraid of him, and that's why he wouldn't get in the ring with him. So Vito was eliminated, and as Vito was eliminated, Randy Savage entered the Battle Royal. And this has been a fight in this household for a decade. So I am going to talk to Vince Russo and see if that was the case. So make sure you tune in for this Pro Wrestling History on the Realm Network, and we will see you guys next time. Have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.
See you guys.
Live, baby, live with the Big Vito brand, and we are here with Rustic Bar. Here's my man right here. Introduce yourself.
Give yourself.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Javi from JS Rustic. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram as JS Rustic. You know, we do everything that's rustic furniture for your home. Whatever you guys need, just look me up and I'll hook you up real good.
We got the links all over, all the Big Vito brand stuff. So if you want to check out Javi's stuff, he's got some awesome stuff. Some neighbors passing by. I got some awesome stuff. So check him out, guys. This is it. The Big Vito Bar.
Well, now.
Now I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I wanna be a handcuff.
Oh, yay! We got to christen the bar.
Oh, I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you.
Big Vito brand happy hour for drinks.
Let's go. I've been looking forward to this for a while. We're ready now.
This is breakfast for us, baby.
Oh, yeah. For me too.
We're all having some
All
breakfast.
Well, this was definitely worth it.
All right, guys. Chrissy in the bar.
Ready? Here we go.
All right.
Cheers. Salud.
Salute. Oh, yeah. Like men.
All right, this is the Big Vito brand signing off. It's bar time. Peace out, people. Rustic Bar.
That.